Monday, July 23, 2012, and we're down in familiar territory, Amberley, and what a glorious day it is. I haven't been able to say that for a few weeks, but there you go, look at that, not a cloud in the sky, and as I say, familiar territory, South Downs. Walking one of the few Amberley walks that I've yet to do. And it's a decent length as well, 14 miles approximately. Amberley to Arundel, which is a kind of reverse of Book 1, Walk 32, which I've already done. So there will be a lot of familiar scenery, just obviously looking at it from a different perspective. So it's 12 o'clock, 12 noon. Takes a couple of hours to get down here generally, whether that be a Saturday, Sunday or weekday. So let's press on, see what pans out. Okay, a couple of minutes in, having crossed the busy Houghton Bridge or Horton Bridge, however you want to pronounce it, and we're now following this river for 2 kilometres apparently, and look at the scenery already. Fantastic. As I say, it's started at 12 noon, so should be looking at around a 6 o'clock finish hopefully. A view back towards Amberley from the first footbridge that I'm crossing today. Very tranquil at the moment, with all the birds being hidden away. A few swallows around, swans. Not much else though at the moment. Overgrown through this section, and being close to the river, I dare say midge territory, but it might be a bit too warm for them today, so luckily, because I've forgotten my mozzie cream again, reflecting how muddy it can get in here, and even on a hot day like today it's pretty muddy. Couple of boardwalks laid down for us. Having said that about the bird song, there's a hidden songster over there somewhere, which I cannot find even with my binoculars, which I've bought today because of my visionary problems on the previous walk, confusing a reed bunting with a yellowhammer. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's not a reed bunting as well. Shame I can't find it. Delightful, huh? Turning left at the T-junction down the bridleway. And as you can see, even on a hot day like today, still pretty muddy and wet underfoot. What glorious scenery, eh? Another delightfully coloured plant. God knows what it is. It's like a small sunflower, doesn't it? Lovely fresh aroma around here. Not sure what's giving off that lovely smell. And remarkably peaceful for the first day of the school summer holidays. Would have expected more people around. Anyway, no doubt I will encounter them. We're reaching the point where the River Arun turns off left, and we're about to hit the flint wall of Arundel Park, which we've been through before, as I mentioned. Okay, here we are. The kissing gate that leads into Arundel Park. And I believe in book 132 we went off that way. ascending through Arundel Park. What a lovely day. Just enough of a cool breeze to take the heat down a bit. Really is lovely. And further views near the two-fingered footpath marker. Branching off left here with the footpath marker hidden in the undergrowth over there. Excellent conservation work going on here. Views back towards Amberley from a point near the field gate mentioned in the text. Amberley's over there near that cutting. Fantastic, eh? You might be able to hear that buzzard in the background mewing. Just hit the right hand edge of the wood as described in the text, and as the last time when I was up here, quite blowy, and reason for that probably is because the sea's not too far away in the distance there. Albeit a bit hazy today, as it was last time I was up here, but that was because it was raining, if I remember correctly, or very misty. Unlike the mad dogs and Englishmen, these sheep know when to take respite from the midday sun. There's that interesting building again that I filmed last time. Looks like some kind of entrance house to the park. Kind of lodge. As usual, there's a crowd of sheep around the stile that you need to cross over. Looking ahead towards the folly, where I might well take my lunch, seeing as time is getting on. About 1:15 now. There it is. Descending down into the lovely valley below, as I recall. The views around the valley bottom. Our onward journeys up this pathway here, or trackway. Views from the track going up towards Hulme Tower, and this wood on my right is providing welcome respite from the heat. Certainly interesting doing this walk in reverse, seeing stuff that I kind of half saw when I did book 132. Just wait for that plane to pass over. Further views from the trackway just in front of Horn Tower now, and as you'd imagine with the school holidays, starting to see people around now. Plenty getting out the rays, catching the rays rather. Further views back towards the valley bottom where I was a couple of minutes ago. Across the gallop, there's Horn Tower, where I shall probably take my lunch now. Well, amazingly no seating area, so I will press on. Another one of the lodge houses, like the one I filmed earlier from a distance, and interesting little waiting area there for the coachman in times gone past, no doubt. The view from I think this is St Nicholas's churchyard, which will make a good resting point. There's a seat just there, right in the midday sun, but there's also one nicely positioned up by the road in the shade there, which is a bit more attractive. In memory of Helena and Patrick O'Sullivan. So it must be a Catholic churchyard, I'd guess. Okay, 2 o'clock, lunch has been had. And whilst having it, I came across this headstone, a little plot dedicated to those children that die stillborn, or as they say there, all children lost before birth. This is a Catholic churchyard, by the way, or which is just over there on the left, which we'll be passing shortly. Very interesting. Arundel Cathedral.
Go down the next one or this one? Go down.
By contrast, you get St Nicholas's Church here, which is almost opposite. Rather splendid redwood at the, or is it a Scots pine? Not sure. Anyway, splendid pine tree there. Shot of the castle. A shot down the high street. And there's me trying to escape the Olympics. And it looks like on Monday the 16th of July, last Monday, there was a torch relay. Thank God I never came down here last Monday. The Norfolk Arms, along with plenty of bunting to commemorate the Olympics. Self-explanatory. stood on the bridge over the Arun, which is coming in at a rate of knots. And our onward journey is going to be down that way somewhere, I'd imagine. Looking back up at the castle. Turn left here, just in front of this White House, with the White Hart just a bit further on down the street. Now interestingly, this path that we're about to follow constitutes part of the Monarch's Way, as you can see there. A 615-mile walking trail following the escape of Charles II after the Battle of Worcester in 1651. Well, there you go. Coming out next to the Arun, and that noise on my right is in fact the swimming pool, the other side of that fence. Some serious lumps of detritus floating in with the tide. And another backward view of Arundel Castle. As we now walk alongside the Arun. That yellow flower that I saw earlier, I now recognise as ragwort, because there it is again. No cinnabar moth caterpillars on it today though. And another shot here of the Catholic Cathedral, Arundel Cathedral. St Nicholas's Church, and the very nice town of Arundel. Very clever the way the swans know how to go upstream against the current by keeping very close to the bank. What a delightful songbird that is. If I move to get my binoculars to try and detect what it is, no doubt it'll fly off. Linnet, siskin, something of that variety. So just before we cross the railway line by that white house over there, let's get a final view of this vista all the way round back to Arundel. I think I took this last time when I was here, but that was a different time of the year obviously. Really is fantastic today. Couldn't ask for better weather. And these lumps of detritus are still following me. There's a lot of them. Must be from the recent flood damage. There's that same bird I couldn't recognise earlier. singing in there. It's either a bunting or a warbler. I'd say the bunting. It's funny, you can't see them. There's a conversation going on there. Incredible. Quite amazing, all this ragwort. I haven't seen one cinnabar moth caterpillar. Crossing the old railway line, and in the very distance there I can see someone up in a hang glider. Not sure if we're able to catch it on here. Glorious day for that. Former railway building, clearly. So, just having crossed the railway line, we've got a youth hostel very close by. Well, that thing seems to be following me now. And it transpires it's got a motor, as you can hear. Wonderful way to travel, eh? Not for me though. Rather be on solid ground. Now about to enter the Wepham Park estate, following that footpath sign there. Lovely cool woodland walking through this Wepham Park estate. Very quiet and still. Disturbed only by that pigeon, who can see me apparently. Now I've spotted him, he's gone quiet. I know. So just coming through the wooden field gate, and we're still on the Monarch's Way. As shown there. You come out into this delightful little valley, and first thing I noticed on the pylon above me was a hawk floating around over there. It's a small one, reddish colour. Anyway, I can't pick it up on this camera at the moment. To disturb this flock of sheep who are blocking the way through this belt of trees towards the top of Warning Camp Hill, taking shelter from the heat. Oh well, it's usually cows that are my issue, but not today. Being the considerate soul that I am, I've decided to let them have their chiller, and I've come out into the field to bypass them. Sounds right, doesn't it? I hope you appreciate that, you lot. Well, they don't look very grateful. Anyway, done my good turn for the day. This is my reward. Some quite fantastic scenery. Look at that, eh? Just me and the swallows at the moment. Now that plane's gone past. Lots of private pilots out today. And why not? Faint grassy path referred to in the text through to the gate over there in that hedge is indeed faint, just about visible. But anyway, you soon detect the onward journey when you see the gate. More cool woodland walking into the village of Wepham. Been down this path before, probably book 132. Wepham and its attractive thatched cottages. Text refers to a fenced in footpath across this field, but there isn't one any longer, or certainly not where it used to be. There is, however, a new one up this side of the field, and I'm not sure where that takes you, but it's full of stinging nettles at the minute. But it does bring you to this second stile, which we cross now. Plenty of flooding down there. Yes. As you can see, those boardwalks are even flooded over. Just outside warning camp now. And as it transpires at the bottom of these concrete steps, we've got to go across this water meadow anyway, over to that dry bridge there. George and Dragon Burpham, which is pleasantly quiet at the moment, probably because it's closed, and it certainly is. There's a notice on the door there. That way leads to the cricket field. Walked through there before. Well done, windy night. And of course behind me, where I've had a couple of lunchtime stops, St Mary the Virgin, Burpham, and as fate would have it, the continuation of the walk is along this Marjorie Hay path, past the church. And as you can see, I'm running pleasantly behind time. 4 hours to get this far is not very impressive. But then again, no need to rush on a day like today. This is a very pleasant church. And a nice tranquil graveyard. And once again we enjoy that very delightful view from the other side of the church. Fantastic that is. I think the last time I was up this way filming this, it was quite cold. So that makes a nice change today. To be able to stand here in about 70 degrees plus and record this with the swallows twittering in the background. Okay, you can just make out the name badge there of Pepper Inn Farm. The onward journey, if I recall, is down this path. So at this point here, with these with this new 3-armed footpath marker. We go across this field here, leaving book 132 route behind us. And I recall there was 160 odd or 90 odd steps up on the right. So yeah, glad I'm not doing them today. Surprisingly, very damp across this stretch of the walk. Very wet indeed underfoot. Well, the text refers to walking alongside the course of an old Arun meander, but looks like we're actually in it here. Footpath is so bogged down with water, and this is on a hot July day, albeit admittedly we've had a lot of rain recently. As you'd imagine in here, this is where I need my mozzie cream. Just been bitten once already. Bad news. Be paying the consequences for days now. My God, the smell of stagnant water. Mosquitoes everywhere. Okay, turn left here onto this wide grassy path and escape from this Transylvania. Crikey, mosquitoes everywhere after me. I think I got away with it, but got at least one bite anyway. Could have been worse. So here we are, out into the sunshine and away from the mozzies, following this minor overhead cable. So back at the bridge in Amberley, and I think this is the first walk that I've done where I end up back where I started, but not actually finishing there. So I'm only about 2/3 of the way through the walk at this point, and rather ambling along, if you'll excuse the pun. Couple of options here. You can either turn right to view North Stoke Church, or go left, join that footpath over there, which is what I'm going to do, as soon as I'm running a tad late. Pleasant views on the edge of North Stoke. Onward journey is clearly visible across the field, down to that other kissing gate. Now this little suspension bridge at North Stoke has a claim to fame, as we'll find out in a second. The old bridge was destroyed by a falling tree, and this one's been repaired by the Gurkhas, rebuilt by the Gurkhas. There you go, eh? Fine bit of workmanship as well. Look at that. Fantastic. Lovely little area as well. More cool woodland walking next to another meander of the Arun. Midge infested in here again. Emerging from the undergrowth, we come out to familiar territory again. The prominent white footbridge that we go over, and the remainder of the walk will be familiar as well, I do believe. St Nicholas's Church once again, South Stoke. I say once again because I've filmed that before. And within the churchyard, possibly the smallest headstone I've ever seen. Simply says Maud. Whether that's a baby, an animal, or a female, got no idea. Just to give you an idea of how small it is. I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. It's St Leonard's, not St Nicholas's. It was St Nicholas's I saw earlier. Pleasant lane walking away from South Stoke down this bridle way. A lovely crimson coloured flower here. In the rather overgrown footpath to the Black Rabbit. And there's a warbler of some kind. Gone. Making that strange noise. Can't find it now. As you can see, this section up to the Black Rabbit is very overgrown with 10-foot high, looks like hogweed, and stinging nettles. That was a very overgrown section, but this is the view that you get at the end of it. Delightful. You can actually hear those calves chewing. Walking down the sunken lane towards the Black Rabbit pub, Wepham, and already I can smell barbecue fumes wafting up the lane. Something's cooking. Amazing road this is. Must be sunken 50 foot into this chalk. Here is the Black Rabbit pub, which I filmed previously from across the river. Whole microclimate and world going on down there. I must go in there sometime, it looks very nice. And with this kind of vista just beyond the car park, you can see why.
Yeah, there's like a whole chicken.
Just passing Arundel Wetland Centre. Obviously on previous walks I've walked through that. The little known Swanbourne Lake and Lodge, which is part of Arundel Park. And there is the lake, which is around 1.5 kilometres to walk round, for those that so wish. Information here about the restoration scheme. And when it's open, this lodge would make a fine tea stop. Outdoor benches to the rear here. As I say, whole new world down here around Wepham. Boating, and there's the charges. $3.50 for 30 minutes. Here's the footpath opposite the lodge that avoids the traffic, just next to this little lay-by here. The stone bridge mentioned in the text, with crystal clear waters below it. Look at that. and pleasantly full as well. Self-explanatory. Now continuing down this avenue of lime trees, still following the direct route as mentioned in the text. What a great footbridge, well, road bridge now actually. All these backwaters, little tributaries of the Arun, and as I say, very good to see that they're full. There's an interesting battle going on over there. The moorhen is fighting off a, I don't know if it's a vole, but certainly a rodent of some kind, a small rodent. And it could well be that the vole has taken one of the youngsters. Can't see the vole now, but quite an amazing squawking going on here. Yeah, but there's the old mother, I believe. As I say, safeguarding her youngsters. The castle from a different angle and closer up than earlier. Can't get the lighting quite right here though. It's the sun in the background, that's what's doing it. It's actually a lot lighter than it is appearing in this film. And again, slightly better this time. The entrance to the castle. With some idea of the prices there. Google that information anyway. These are the old Blackfriars, dissolved by Henry VIII. Not sure if you can read that, but a Dominican priory. Okay, back where we were earlier, but this time we're going to continue straight ahead past the White Hart. So here we are back at Arun. That was a very nice walk, a nice variety. A bit odd in the sense that you know, you kind of do a figure of 8 there really, going back to the beginning and coming back out again, but that's variety for you. A very nice walk that you don't really want to end, especially on a day like today when there's still not a cloud in the sky. Now I've got about 20 minutes to wait for my train. It's taken me a bit longer to do that walk than I thought it would. It's now 7. I was expecting to be done by 6, so it's taken me 7 hours to do that walk, around about 14 miles. My pedometer of course is showing slightly less because I took the direct route as opposed to the riverside route, so I've probably done about 13.5 today. So 7 hours to do that lot is not very good pace, but hey, with a day like this, who cares? So that's free walk 100 completed, and I think that's pretty much me done with the South Downs now, as far as the books and the free walks go. It's a shame really, because it means if I want to walk down here again, I'll either have to make one of my own up or repeat myself. Okay, done.